Hello, thanks for joining me. I'm the Badger Reborn, and today I'm going to talk about the Wheel of Time and my theory of the Dark One's existence. This video will have full spoilers for the Wheel of Time book series. If you haven't read the books, you should get on that now. What are you doing wasting your time on YouTube when you could be reading Wheel of Time? Go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe for more fun Wheel of Time content. So, my theory, in a nutshell, is that the Dark One is not real. He was created by Ishamael. Let's go over some backstory before jumping in. Ishamael, or Elon Morantedroni, was critically acclaimed as a philosopher and theologian who wrote several influential books, among them Analysis of Perceived Meaning, Reality and the Absence of Meaning, and The Disassembly of Reason. At some point, a group of Aes Sedai researchers, led by Lanfear, drilled the bore into the Dark One's prison, and caused the collapse. Once it became known just what it was that those researchers had unleashed, supposedly, Ishamael put forth a theory that the war between the soul of Leusder and Telamon and the Dark One had occurred since the beginning of time, recurring at intervals along the Wheel of Time. This theory led him to realize that, due to the wheel's cyclical nature, the Dark One would invariably receive an infinite number of chances to escape from his prison. As such, Ishamael realized that humanity would have to continually fend the Dark One off so long as the pattern existed, and that each victory by humanity simply led to another battle. The Dark One, on the other hand, needed to win only once, and once he did, the victory would be absolute, and it would be impossible for humanity to combat him once freed from his prison. He also realized that the Dark One had a theoretically infinite number of chances to win. It became a statistical certainty that he eventually would. In accordance with his belief that the Dark One's victory was inevitable, he became one of the first Aes Sedai in the Age of Legends to publicly declare himself for the Shadow. That's good backstory to know, though we don't know how much of it is exactly true because we never get an Ishii point of view in the Age of Legends. This is important. Also, I'll be calling him Ishii in this video, because it's a good nickname. This is where my theory comes in. As a philosopher, Ishii realized that humanity was evil and needed a greater evil to believe in to explain the problems in society. Because of his philosophical beliefs, Ishii knows that humanity wants to believe in a greater evil, and he is happy to supply it, because it gains him a tremendous amount of power. During the time that the bore is opened, the wonderful Age of Legends society is starting to decay. Ishii spreads information about the Dark One existing across the world and gets followers to join. Lanfear discovers the true power by drilling into the bore. By the way, we don't know how she came to this discovery. It may have been Ishamael who led her to it. When she does this, though, Ishii convinces her and everyone else that it was really the Dark One, rather than just a new power source. He does this by bringing select people into dream shards where he speaks as the Dark One. He convinces some to join, and then he openly joins as well, so he isn't first. Ishii also discovers weaves that tie him and the other Forsaken to life, in the same way that Voldemort's Horcruxes do in Harry Potter. However, this results in needing a new body. He has also attached some of these weaves to the Forsaken, but not as many, which is why he can't always bring them back to life. When Ishii dies and Moradin has yet to surface, the Dark One's plans fall apart and the Forsaken are disparate. After repeatedly failing, being beaten by an untrained sheepherder, Ishamael still becomes Nameless and directs the last battle, which is an odd choice given that he isn't a renowned general and has already failed multiple times. He has all the power, and the other Forsaken simply accept his word that he is Nameless. Speaking of power, Ishamael controls the flow of the true power, which is why he is almost the only one given access to it at all times. He occasionally lets other Forsaken use it, but we know from his saw that he uses it almost exclusively, and we know it is driving him mad. One of the manifestations of this madness is that he starts to believe in his own creation. Ishamael, when Moradin, gets tired of his own creation and of being tied to life, so he tries to help Rand kill him by doing things like killing Samael and fighting Rand and Sheol. It's definitely canon that he wants to die. However, he can't let his whole construction unravel. In A Memory of Light, we learn that Ishii frequently uses dream shards. This is highly illuminating in several ways. Not only does this probably explain the dreams he was forcing Rand, Mat, and Perrin to have in the Eye of the World, it also explains one of what is probably one of your primary issues with this theory. Sheol. The Forsaken have, we think, spoken to the Dark One. However, Sheol is just a big permanent dream shard created by Ishii. This becomes obvious when thinking about some of its effects, including warping time and having stalagmites that adjust themselves to the height of the person and how the Dark One feels about the person. This is the same in the last battle. Sheol and the philosophical struggle is just a construct woven by Ishamael. Ishii is a philosopher, and the entire final battle is philosophy-based. The last battle with Rand is a big philosophical contest, which is the way that Ishamael, the philosopher, would want it and feel was the most justified. He wouldn't fight Rand with a sword as his go-to move. He would debate philosophy of good and evil and free will. It's only after he loses at his own game that he tries wildly sword-fighting Rand. It could be argued that the Dark One is the balance of the creator, but I think that is clearly false. For it to be true, the Dark One would have to be just as powerful as the creator, and he clearly isn't. The creator is just a hands-off god. He mostly doesn't intervene in the constant struggle between demigod Dragon and demigod Ishamael, both of whom are reborn over and over again to fight each other. I'll wrap up with this fragment of dark prophecy that Varian reads. Heart of the dark, Ba'alzamon, name hidden within name, shrouded by name. Secret buried within secret, cloaked by secret. Betrayer of hope, Ishamael betrays all hope. Truth burns and sears. Hope fails before truth. Our lie is our shield. Who can stand against the heart of the dark? Who can face the betrayer of hope? Soul of shadow, he is. And it ends there. This is clearly an explanation that Ishamael is actually the Dark One. Name hidden within name. Elon is actually the name of the Dark One. Secret buried within secret. It has been hidden that he created this fiction. Betrayer of hope, that is Ishamael. Hope fails before truth. Ishi will never admit the truth, even up to the point of his own failure. A lie is our shield. The shield against the greater horror that humanity is the real cause of the world's evils. The lie of the Dark One is our shield against that. Soul of the shadow he is. Ishi is literally the soul of the shadow. So at the end of the day, it's a pretty simple theory. When the bore was drilled, Ishamael created a fiction that the Dark One was an entity that existed. This happened because humanity needed something to explain the evils in the world, and he was happy to fill that gap because it resulted in personal power for himself. He keeps the fiction alive through the use of dream shards and weaves created to essentially give eternal life. Use of the true power starts to drive him mad, which is why we see him even buying into the lie himself. The last battle ultimately happens the way that Ishamael, the philosopher, would want. A struggle between good and evil, between light and dark, and between free will and the lack thereof. Rand eventually comes to the correct conclusions, you could say, about those things, but I think it's also pretty obvious that it's something that Ishamael and the Dark One had already thought through also. Because what Rand comes to the conclusion of is not something that the Dark One was unaware of before. Not something that Ishamael was unaware of before. Good and evil needs to exist in the Wheel of Time world. That good is the people of the world, as we continue to see. The evil could be the Dark One, or it could just also be the people of the world, such as Ishamael. So what originally led me to this theory? Well, it's a few things, really. For one, the fact that the Dark One could be bested by humans, mortals like Rand, that never really quite made sense. If there's really a Dark One who's equally powerful to the creator, how would he be able to be beaten by Rand? Doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think he would be able to. That leads me to the belief that perhaps it was something created by humans. Perhaps there's no Dark One. Another reason is because Ishamael just has an oddly high amount of power, an oddly large number of chances, given the fact that we see the Dark One be really hard on his other followers at times. However, Ishamael just gets chance after chance, fails, and then gets given the enabler's position. Seems like there's maybe a little bit of something else going on that we don't know about. Then lastly, just the real existence of dream shards. They open up so many possibilities and explain so many things about what Ishamael has been doing throughout the series. When those came into play, I think it just makes sense that Sheol Ghul is also a dream shard. You might totally not buy this theory, and that's totally fine. I have no problem with that, as you might know from my Min Dark Friend video, if you've watched that one. Totally fine if you don't buy this theory as well. I think there's quite a lot of evidence that this is a possibility and could be really what's happening. Is it definitely the case? No. But I think it is a fun theory with some real evidence that kind of stacks up in support of it. That's going to do it for this theory. I hope you enjoy it, and give the video a like and subscribe to my channel for more Wheel of Time content. Check out my recent video about why the Wheel of Time TV show may be a flop. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this theory. Do you love it? Do you hate it? I've got to thank my patrons as well on Patreon. They've helped me to start my channel, grow my channel, and just continue to expand it. Thanks for your support. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. I haven't been able to make a lot of videos recently, just due to a lot of things happening in my life, but I hope to get back into it more consistently. I have a video coming up about whether Wheel of Time will flop, kind of a follow-up to the previous video I had done, but focusing on some new topics. And I'll get some more videos coming out in the near future about the books, the TV show, and just general thoughts about the Wheel of Time and how great it is. Go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe for more fun Wheel. Go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe for more.